What's up, guys? This is Brian Mounts for Interpmechanic.com. As many of you already know, I'm sitting right now on a bag of BioCharcken, sitting next to another bag of BioCharcken, but I'm also sitting next to a gigantic bucket of random Biochar. This is the Aries green Biochar. There's nothing wrong with it, and I applied this last year to my lawn. Still have some left. I've got it here to show you, but I'm not going to be putting it down today. I'm going to be putting down the BioCharcken today. Let's talk about it a little bit. If you're new to this channel, then you should know right off the bat that every year I core aerate my lawn twice, 2 times. Once at the very beginning of spring, usually at the end of winter actually, and the second time is at the very end of summer, just before fall starts. Now you probably know that aerating your lawn is a pretty darn good thing. Here, hold on here, I gotta readjust. It's a really good thing for the lawn. But we can supercharge it every single time by top dressing our lawn with products that don't incorporate into the lawn soil very easily at any other time during the year. This year, since I just core aerated a couple weeks ago, I'm going to be applying BioCharcken to my lawn for a few main reasons. One, it's going to add a lot of carbon into my lawn soil, which is going to be good for thriving biological life. Additionally, this particular product, BioCharcken, is actually chicken poo infused biochar. So it's going to add a little bit of composted chicken manure into the lawn that's kind of hard to get into the lawn in any other way. There's going to be some trace nutrition going into the lawn. However, the bag itself doesn't actually have an NPK ratio on it. I do know that chicken poo is a high nitrogen source, so there has to be a little bit in there. But that's not the main reason that I'm doing it. The main reason why I'm putting BioCharcken down has to do with those first 2 reasons, but it's also because biochar in the lawn is actually going to improve my lawn soil's ability to hold on to water during drought conditions in high summer heat, and it's going to allow my lawn soil to be able to hold on to more nutrients in the event that we get a large rain event. An enormous amount of water can cause a lot of nutrient leaching from your soil, and extended hot, dry stretches during the summer can really stress your lawn out. Biochar has little microscopic pores inside of it that water and nutrients get trapped inside, The thing is, root systems from our grass can't actually penetrate into the microscopic pores of biochar. However, mycorrhizal fungi can. Mycorrhizal fungi will live in there. They'll kind of inoculate, to use a fancy term, they'll inoculate the biochar and hold hands, so to speak, with the root system of our grass. We call that a symbiotic relationship. The grass root systems aid the mycorrhizal fungi, and the mycorrhizal fungi aid the grass root systems. They transfer energy and nutrients back and forth. When your soil has biochar in it, your grass root systems are going to be able to tap into nutrient resources that are hard to get in any other way, and they're going to have moisture available to them that wouldn't exist otherwise. This moisture would typically be evaporated away. This little bit of moisture isn't a lot, but it can be enough to push grass through drought conditions that it might not otherwise be able to thrive in. Now, most biochars, like this or many of the other biochars, I literally have 5 or 6 others in the garage right now. Most biochars do not come infused. Infused means that those little microscopic pores have nothing in them. There's no moisture, there's no nutrition, there's nothing in it. It's just biochar. This product right here is very dusty and the particles are chunky, and now my hands are black. It's messy. Look at that, my hands are still, ugh. It's a messy product. When we put straight biochar into the lawn or into a soil environment, let's say for instance a garden, eventually the biochar will charge or infuse itself with nutrients and biological life. It's actually hard to find biochars that are pre-infused, and it's really messy to try to infuse it yourself. I personally never done it simply because I just don't want to deal with the mess. When we apply these kinds of biochars to our soil, they will eventually infuse themselves. They will charge themselves over time, but it can take months, possibly even a good solid year. Remember, we're talking about microscopic pores, microscopic void spaces. So if you can find yourself an infused or charged biochar, like this, the BioCharcken, then that's a really big perk. Once it goes into the lawn, it's actually all ready to go. Not only that, but finding a biochar that's designed to be spread on the lawn is also a little bit hard. This product and virtually every other biochar out there are meant for potted plants and garden applications where you mix them and till them into the soil. Well, you can't really mix or till any of this stuff into your lawn soil because it's covered in grass. There are a handful of biochar products out there. A few of them I've used myself that are meant to be spread on the lawn. One of them comes from the Anderson's company. It's a good quality product, but it's not infused. This product, although it's not exactly meant for the lawn, it does go through a lawn spreader quite easily. The problem with this is that the chunks are very large. So once you drop these chunks on the lawn, even though it spreads on the lawn just fine, the chunks are huge. They don't incorporate into the soil hardly at all. Now, if you've core aerated your lawn, they will go in a little bit better, but not very good. And all of this is to say, this product is literally designed to be spread on the lawn, putting it pretty high on my, ooh, I like that list. That's why I decided to put BioCharcken on my lawn today. The particles are charged. They're small enough to incorporate into the soil, whether you've aerated or not. They do it better after core aeration, which is where I stand today. And they're also infused, giving a little bit of nutrition to my lawn that it wouldn't get otherwise. Slowly, the mycorrhizal fungi that live in my lawn are going to inoculate this, and we're going to have that symbiotic relationship that I talked about before. It's really going to help my lawn perform significantly better than most other lawns throughout the growing season. For me specifically, I'm looking at summer, because around here we don't get a whole lot of rain during the summer and we're in a drought condition. So moisture management is really important in my book. The added little bit of chicken poo is nice. It's not that important to me. The carbon add to my soil is really nice, but it's not that important to me. I really want to manage the moisture levels in my soil. And you could get that with any biochar, but this one has all of those extra perks and it just makes more sense. Now, like I said before, I have videos on this channel of me using other biochar products. I don't remember exactly if it's 5 or 6, but I have 5 or 6 products still in my garage right now. Well, this one's here, but the others are still in the garage right now. I don't really know if this is the best biochar product, but for me, it really seems like the best option for me to be putting on my lawn after aerating, or really in any sort of top dressing scenario. Considering the fact that I have a bunch of open channels into the subsoil here on my lawn, a lot of this product, when I go ahead and put it down on the lawn, is really going to instantly go into the subsoil. We're certainly going to have some sitting on the surface that don't go into the holes, but over time, the particle sizes, which are much smaller, are going to incorporate into the soil from the top down. It'll just take a little bit longer. Now, biochar is not necessary for every single person out there that has a lawn. If you have a lawn and you want to have a great looking lawn, you don't need this product. This is purely optional. This is as optional as it gets. But for me, my lawn looks really good. This is April 5th right now. So we still have dappled green as winter dormancy is coming to an end. But I guarantee you in about like 3-4 weeks, this lawn is going to be smoking hot. Once you get to this stage with your lawn, you have to start looking for those areas of diminishing returns. This product is not going to be for beginners. If you are a beginner to lawn care, there are many other things that you can do that are going to improve your lawn situation way before you consider a product like this. But if you do have a really good looking lawn and you get into that top dressing frame of mind and maybe you core aerate from time to time, then this is an excellent product to consider. I'm going to leave a link to it down in the description below. But for top dressing purposes, there are many other things that you can do to top dress a lawn. You don't have to use biochar. There's plenty of other stuff, and I've made videos about me applying other things as a top dressing to my lawn before. I've applied worm castings, I've applied peat moss, I've applied green sand, azomite, alfalfa meal. I use spray-on cytokinins as a plant hormone to push root development over top growth. There are lots of things that you can do. You can also apply a top dressing at the same time that you're doing your typical spring or fall or whatever time of year it is maintenance. So for me, I'm going to be putting down a good heavy dose of this, like a big dose of this, give me the best chance of having good moisture management through the summer. But I'm also going to be putting down my regular spring application of Milorganite. I'll do a heavy application of Milorganite, which is a 6,4-0 product. And to get a little bit of extra potassium in there, I'm actually going to be applying alfalfa meal. It's actually not straight alfalfa meal. It's a nitrogen fertilizer based on alfalfa meal. Alfalfa meal has something in it called tricontinol. Tricontinol is a naturally occurring chemical. I'm not sure if chemical is the correct word for it. It's a naturally occurring thing in alfalfa meal, and when tricontinol is applied to a lawn, it helps stimulate additional root development. So alfalfa meal does contain some nitrogen and some potassium, but mostly I'm looking for the natural shot of tricontinol because the spring is the best time of the year to push root development. It's the most natural time of the year for your lawn to develop new root systems. The Dr. Earth, there's my son right here, just walking right into the shot. Say hi. Hi. So the Dr. Earth product that has the alfalfa meal, I actually have a video where I reviewed it back in the 2021 season. You can see a link to that down in the description below. It's not a product that's easily found anywhere, but it is sold locally where I live, so I've bought it for a couple years in a row now. Being early April, I'm not quite ready to start applying my cytokinins or my thatch digesters or my moisture managers in the form of Hydrotane. That's all going to come a little bit later in the spring, and different videos will be better suited to present those kinds of topics. If you do want to learn more about biochar, not necessarily BioCharcken, but biochar, then I have a blog post linked down in the description below over in the Turp Mechanic website where I talk quite a bit about biochar use in the lawn. And then of course, for those of you who just like watching videos, make sure to watch this video that I've got linked right up here. This is the top dressing video that I did in the early spring of the 2021 season. During that top dressing session, I didn't apply any biochar whatsoever, but I did apply a good handful of other products. Not only did I apply those products, but I actually show some side-by-sides where I applied the products to one area of my lawn, but not another. It's a pretty good illustration of what you can do with top dressing and kind of how the lawn responds to it.